Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good morning. It is 8 o'clock on Sunday, July the 21st. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning into Mountain News this morning, Weekend Edition. Well, yesterday, actually, let's go ahead and get into some news. Last night, lawmakers wrapped up day 2 of a special session to pass pension relief. Their goal, pass a plan to help dozens of quasi-governmental agencies avoid rising pension costs. Mike Fussell was in Frankfurt. He explains the bills up for discussion.
Democrats were allowed to introduce 2 plans as alternatives to the governor's relief plan on Saturday. Ultimately, those died. They failed in committee. House Bills 2 and 3 were proposed by Democrats. HB 2 offers up their quasi-pension relief plan, which shifts billions of dollars worth of retiree health insurance money to help fund quasi-pensions and freezes contribution rates at 49% instead of the 84% level that went into effect this month. Now, proponents say it's the most fiscally sound of all the plans offered, but those against the bill raise concern about other state agencies losing funds to help pay for it, some calling it a temporary solution. House Bill 3 solely froze contribution rates at 49%, something included in the Republican relief option, but it would have served as an insurance policy of a freeze if Governor Bevin decided to veto a bill because it didn't meet his specific proclamation or it got tangled in a legal battle. HB 1, which lays out Bevin's desires, did pass committee. It would allow quasi-government agencies like some health departments, mental health, or rape crisis centers to pay their way out of the pension system in one lump sum or over time, or stay in and face higher costs.
That is faster, cheaper, legal, and provides certainty and stability. It doesn't break the inviolable contract.
But I'm willing to do the hard work to try and keep coming up with these answers and solutions. But if we don't pass legislation in this special session, these quasi entities, many of them are going to go out of business.
Now, the ongoing feud between Attorney General Andy Beshear and Governor Matt Bevin now involves the special session. During a news conference yesterday, the Attorney General said the governor's proclamation bringing the session into order is unconstitutional. He explained the governor's proclamation tries to dictate any pension relief passed by lawmakers.
In an attempt to control the General Assembly, the governor has put out a proclamation that threatens any legislation coming out of the special session. At $60,000 a day, that is a risk that should not be placed on the taxpayers who are having to pay for this session.
I worked for the General Assembly for 6 years. I've been around this process for 20 years. The General Assembly will only do what they feel is right. And if they choose to pass a proposal that fits within the 12 parameters the governor laid out, then that's their prerogative. And if they don't, then they won't.
The governor's deputy chief of staff says he is confident that lawmakers will pass the governor's pension relief bill during this special session. Well, on Friday, a federal judge approved funding for Black Jewel. The $2.9 million will allow Black Jewel to pay about 140 employees who remain at work. The funding will give the company a bit more time to find financing without a long-term solution. The company might have to sell properties. The company filed for bankruptcy on July 1st. Well, it's now 8:03. Let's check in with meteorologist Kelly McShane for a look at what to expect on this Sunday. Kelly, yesterday was hot. Today we should see those temperatures start to back down, right?
Yes, we are going to see those temperatures take a little bit of a backseat, but unfortunately those rain chances are going to take the main stage. But right now we are starting off pretty calm, partly cloudy skies in Floyd County. You can see that here on our Stonecrest cam. As far as fog goes this morning, not too much to deal with. However, in those valley regions we could still see a little bit of that patchy fog, and satellite and radar showing a pretty clean sweep for now. However, heading into central Kentucky, you do see a few showers starting to spark up, and that's going to be the trend over the next few hours. And those temperatures, we're starting off pretty warm like we did yesterday. However, temperatures will not get into the 90s today. We're only looking at temperatures into the mid 80s. I'll have that full forecast in just a little bit, Will.
All righty, Kelly, thank you. 50 years ago yesterday, 3 men from the United States made history. On July 16th, 1969, a Saturn V rocket launched, sending Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins into space. Armstrong and Aldrin made history by becoming the first people to walk on the moon, while Collins stayed in orbit. Many locals say this is a day they will never forget.
Man, that was something to see, man. All the way to the moon, and landed on it, went right back up and came back with some rocks.
NASA has set its sight on returning to the moon by at least 2024. Now, 50 years ago to the day after those famous steps on the surface of the moon, a NASA astronaut, an Italian flight engineer, and a Russian commander geared up for launch aboard a Suez spacecraft Saturday on a 6-hour flight to the International Space Station. Takeoff was timed to permit the spacecraft to climb directly into the plane of the space station's orbit, a requirement for rendezvous missions. At liftoff, the lab complex was expected to be flying 254 miles above the border between Kazakhstan and Mongolia, 646 miles downrange from the launch pad. The Housing and Development Alliance held its annual repair fair yesterday. Many volunteers gathered around Perry County to help repair and add on to several homes in the area. Volunteers say that even though it was a hot day, they are just grateful they can help out.
We're here to help build a porch for somebody that needed a porch to get off because they had a concrete steps before and they were falling apart. So a porch will help them a lot.
The team Caudill worked with yesterday were all young men from Hazard High School. Well, Kentucky State Police got a call on Wednesday about a man pouring gasoline on his father. The caller told police his son, James Jimmy Crabtree, was pouring the gasoline. The father says his son began threatening him. Police arrested Crabtree and charged him with 4th-degree assault and menacing. In a recently released arrest citation, we learned about a man who is accused of attacking another man with a weed eater. Last month, police got a complaint about 2 men arguing on Jefferson Street in Pike County. They found a man with wounds all over his body. The man says Randall Fordyce attacked him with a weed eater. Fordyce told police the man was stealing candy bars from him. A West Virginia Army soldier has died in a non-combat related incident in Kuwait. The Pentagon says 30-year-old Sergeant William Edward Freese from Rockport, West Virginia, died Thursday in Camp Buehring, Kuwait. The incident is under investigation. The military gave no more information on the circumstances of Freese's death. A dog found abandoned on the side of the road on Friday has died. Officials with the Clark County Animal Shelter say the dog was found along Old Ruckerville Road in a wire cage. The dog could not stand and had a skin condition. It was just a puppy. Those with the animal shelter say the dog was between 10 and 14 weeks old. An investigation is underway to find out who left the dog. Remote Area Medical will provide free dental, vision, and medical care in Eastern Kentucky next month. RAM will hold a mobile health clinic in Elkhorn City on August 10th and 11th. The clinic will be located in the Lick Creek area at the East Ridge High School. Services are free and no ID is required. Hillbilly Christmas in July began yesterday evening, where more than 500 people packed downtown Pikeville for multiple events. WIMT's Marianne Fletcher talked with kids there to learn more.
Merry Christmas.
No, it's not December.
Really hot.
Hot.
Hot. Hot.
Hillbilly Christmas in July kicked off in downtown Pikeville Saturday.
They're having a lot of cool events like water slides,
which may be the highlight of the evening.
I've been doing the water slides.
The water slides.
The slides.
My favorite part is today, the inflatables, like mostly every single thing here.
Tables lined with toys for kids to win with tickets.
So I got to go to Walmart, where they helped us, of course, and I spent $3,000 in toys. Second best day of my life, ever.
Which adds up to countless toys.
More than one.
49. That's a very hard question. 30.
Shalebra Bartley helps organize the events.
We're just a bunch of just hillbillies that love Shriner kids and want to make money to take to the hospital.
After Kids' Day in the park, a motorcycle parade followed, ending downtown for a rumble in the Riverfield.
Over $584,000 has been raised since they started this.
Eric Hubbard says this 14-year legacy continues to touch lives each year.
Like anybody else, but bikers especially, if they see a need to help a children, someone had a house burn, whatever, that's what we're here for.
Keeping one common goal.
So all the children, their eyes just light up, and it's a great day.
In Pike County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Hillbilly Christmas in July events continue today with an annual bike ride. Coming up on Mountain News this morning, weekend edition, a volcano in Sicily continued to erupt yesterday, causing nearby airports to close. And in sports, the basketball tournament underway, and we have highlights of some former players from the Bluegrass State.
We are finally getting a break from the heat, but unfortunately we have plenty of showers and storms on the way. I'll have those details coming up next.